Okay. We are on, and yeah, I've been wanting to do this live stream for a while. It's just going to be a chill, easygoing live stream. Basically, just looking at a bunch of plugins that I forgot I had, and I like to do this once in a while. I tend to do it sort of informally. You know, I guess as we all do, if you're working on a track, you're just looking through your plugins once in a while, try to find something interesting. But I like to once in a while go through and just really have a look. I'm sure there's so many. I didn't notice how many it scanned, but I have hundreds of them. And I do this every time I get a new computer. It's been a few years now. But every time I do it, I will start from scratch. Like I will take everything. I don't like doing that whole time machine thing and bringing it back in along with, the problems and the slowness that comes with what you had. So I start from scratch and I just install the ones that I need, and I install as needed. But I tend to, I guess like we all do, install, a new plugin you try it out for a couple of days, and then you just completely forget about it. And that list just, like, no matter how much I try to keep that list really short, it keeps growing all the time. But anyways, let's go through. Let's just get right into it. Okay, Acon Digital. I'm going to skip these, first of all, because I use these declick a lot and dehum. Like, this is more working on fixing audio issues. So we're not going to make music with this. The ADSR sample. Yeah, actually, you know what? Let's load this up. It's been a really long time since I loaded this. And it should have all of my samples in it. Just want to see here. Yeah. Looks like, yeah, thousands of them in here. So this isn't really a plugin that you use to make music itself. It's more, how do we stop it? There we go. It's more to organize the samples that you have in your library. But I like using these because, sure, let's refresh this. Oh, this might scan for a while. I probably haven't loaded this up in 2 years. So, okay, it's not too bad. So do you guys have any new plugins that you're using lately? Like, I've noticed, I don't want to say I'm like addicted to buying plugins, but I tend to get a lot of plugins, whatever's on sale. And the whole, what do they call it? The gas, gear acquisition syndrome. I have that with plugins. But in the last few months, I don't know if it's because nothing really that new is coming out, or I'm just happy with what I have, but I've actually been, I don't know, I've been a good boy. So I haven't really been, I've been updating plugins that I have used, and I've gotten a few new ones, but yeah, there's nothing apart from Serum 2 that I've been using consistently. There isn't really anything that I've gotten lately that's like my go-to plugin. That's another reason I want to do this is, I don't know, it's one of those times where I don't want to say I'm in a slump with music stuff, because I'm still doing what I'm doing, but because I haven't been getting new plugins, you don't have those shiny new toys. I want to go look at some of the toys I've had all along. But oh, is there a way to stop this from looping? Because that's really annoying. Is it this one here? There we go. Okay, that'll be better. Okay, so it's just really going through sound. So, it's still scanning the. Yeah, it's still scanning my libraries. So, let's just choose a cappella. I'm actually curious.
Won't have to. I got it.
These,
what you say. Come show me what you stand for. Stop looking.
That's a good sample. Where's that from? That'd be good for a disco track. I tend to never use vocal samples on their own. Like I tend to chop them up or take a word here and there or make them sound like completely different. But I guess we can do reveal in Finder. See there. Acapella demos, Loop Masters, Tamara Keenan. I don't even remember this. Oh, Studio One 6 free vocals. I don't even remember getting this. So, yeah, this has been useful already. I was looking at plugins I've never used, but I might have to do a stream on samples I've never used. But anyways, yeah, so a whole bunch of acapellas. I always worry using acapellas with copyright strikes because they tend to, like, people will take a sample that you're allowed to use, but they will throw it into the matching system, and then they're saying, "Oh yeah, this is my track," but it's not your track. A lot of people who use splice samples have that issue. I do have splice samples. I don't use them that much, especially lately. But yeah. Anyways, a go-go. What? Like 205 samples from. What does an go-go look like? It's like, I know the sound. I know it's a percussion thing. I think it's an African drum of some sort. Oh, okay. It doesn't look anything like I was expecting. So it's basically like two cowbells, sort of. But like, I never would have thought I had 205 samples, like a go-go sounds. So, and these could be really useful in the music I make lately. So, okay. So this one's interesting already. Aircraft 12. Okay. Oh yeah, we got to get rid of these go-go sounds. I don't know why these are considered that could be considered an aircraft. Anyways, okay, that's interesting. I'll have to sit around and play around with this one. Let's look for other plugins, because right now it just became a trying samples I never use. But anyways, these are good to remind you of what you have, because as your library builds, there's a lot of stuff that you've never even loaded once. Like if you don't know in Ableton, like as soon as you load a sample, it will actually, let's go find it'll actually mark it as, it'll create a file, like it's basically a, like the warping file. Like it'll do like a sort of settings file for your sample as soon as you load it up. So you can sort of tell that it's got it by, just want to go find an actual sample that I've never loaded. Yeah, see, when you see this little check mark here, it means that it's got that processing file, whatever it is. And so if it doesn't have that check mark, and if you can turn this off so you don't have it at all. I like having it on, especially for this, because you can tell which samples you've never loaded up at all. Like this sample here has never been loaded up on this computer. I'm assuming when I brought my library in, no, when I brought it in, it would have had this. So this is probably on any computer. So this kick, I've never loaded up ever. This snare either. So it's sort of nice to be able to tell which ones you've loaded before. I don't remember why I was talking about this, but anyways, okay, back to these plugins. And okay, we'll go to Air Music Technology. See this one here, Bassline, I've used a couple of times. I do have it licensed. I'll just in case it shows the number, I'll do this on this other screen. Okay, activated. Okay. Yeah, I've used this a long time ago. I don't remember using it at all. So anyways, let's give it a try. Sounds like it's basically a sine wave with a little bit of on the attack. It almost feels like halfway between a kick drum and a sine wave. Let's check a couple of these. I like the sound of this one. So these have, okay, I was starting to, because this one has the same, similar delay to this. Oh no, this one's slower. Anyways, I guess there's delay. Yeah, the delay is built into this here, because I don't have any effects on here at all. No. So what you're hearing is the plugin on its own. Ooh. That sounds, I love the sound of this one. Squarish boost. It's got a Moog type sound. I don't know. It just, this sounds really good. Okay, so. Okay, so that's this one, this bass line here. Boom. This one in the past has crashed. Okay, we're okay. So this is a drum machine, and if we hit play, I like these patterns, and I wish you could take these patterns out and just export them into whatever you're working on. But so you can change the drum kit with the same. This is punchy. Like, I don't like this one as much, but. And then there's a way to switch the pattern. Can't remember. You can do it here with. It sort of looks like a game from the 80s. Wonder if we can make it bigger. No. Yeah. I feel like it looks like. If you remember Merlin, I actually still have it here somewhere. There's a game called Merlin, and it's it looked like a phone sort of, and you had the buttons looked exactly like this. So just trying to see here. And by the way, if you are writing something in the chat and I miss it, let me know. Well, no, I guess you can't let me know. Anyways, I'm not ignoring you if you write something there. I notice sometimes the chat messages don't come through, and I'll be going through after on YouTube Studio. It tells you, how many chat messages there were, and I'm like, I don't remember seeing that many. So yeah. Anyways, if you do, I'm not ignoring you. So I just want to figure out how to change this pattern. I don't know if you guys use this plugin. Let me know if you. So there's copy and clear, but that's not what we want. Oh, this will probably load one here. Okay, there we go. So I like the sounds on this. I'm not sure if it's like supposed to emulate an 808 or. Let's see what the. I don't know why I wish the start just kept going when we switch these presets. It stops it every time. See, I love these patterns are really well programmed. Like. Okay, anyways, that's boom. I'll have to play around with that one a little bit more. I've been using Drumazon and what's the other one that's Nephaton, whatever it is. That Nephaton is the 808, and Drumazon is an emulation of the 909. And so I've sort of forgotten about this one. I just wish I could get these patterns out. I guess like what I could do is just play it and then do this, convert them to audio, and then from the audio convert that into MIDI and then use that. But that's a long way around, and it won't be exactly like this. But the swing, I want to try. It's not extreme. I like this because a lot of the time, as soon as you start to add swing to it, it just seems like choppy. And as much as like They say that swing is supposed to make it more human. A lot of the time I find swing just makes it feel more fake because it's just... But like, you can tell this was nothing. And yeah, I really like this actually. I'm actually thinking of, because with Ableton Live you can extract the groove from something. I'm thinking of taking these and then extracting the groove and being able to use that on the whole track. Like you use this as your drums, but then you're using this as the groove for your other instruments. That does sound really nice. So, okay, so that's boom. The riser, this, well, I guess it's only useful if you do certain types of music, but I tend to do a lot of house music and stuff. This is one of my favorite plugins, but I don't use it enough. So it helps you with the rises, or you actually have some for the falls. It's sort of the opposite, which is really nice stuff. And every time I use this, it's been a while since I've used it, but every time I use it, it's like, I think I'm going to sit here and learn how to use like what each button does in here. And then I sort of forget about it and move on. But anyways, this isn't one that I forgot about, but it's one that I haven't used in a while. Oh, the Antares stuff. Yeah. These are ones that I forgot about. The only thing is, digital talk box. I didn't know I had this. Okay, so, okay, this stream has been useful already for me. I'm hoping it's interesting for you as well. So TalkBox, how do we, okay, I'm going to create an audio track. And I don't know what I'll record, just something very, I am live streaming. Very original. And then we're going to go here, drop this onto, and I'm sorry if that hurt your ears. It hurt mine. All right, so I have no idea what's going to happen here. I don't know if we have to play an instrument. I have to play a note. Noise generator. So the audio signal's coming in. I really have no idea how to use this. So if we bypass it. Yeah, okay, so we've got our sound coming through. Huh. Format modulation. So TalkBox is sort of like a vocoder. There are differences, but for a lot of people listening, they won't know the difference between the two. But these are, they always creep me out, the TalkBoxes, because you have this little tube and you're like singing into the tube. I don't know. They creep me out. But this one, there's no tube. The only thing is I have no idea what we're doing here. And like, do I load a video and check and try to figure it out? I think we might have to, because there's no preset to try. There's no noise level. Okay, so I don't know. We load a video just to check it out. So we'll do, I don't even remember what, I don't even remember what it's called. Antares Articulator. And I'm assuming I'm pronouncing Antares right. I've been hearing the name for like 25 years and sort of made up my my own pronunciation of it, but maybe it's Antares. Let me know anyways if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Articulator. And I just want something short. Okay, I'll try this one.
An Enercare expert
Let me know if you can't hear this.
To make any home run smoothly. From heating and cooling.
Oh, 7 minutes. I don't want to go through 7 minutes of it, but...
An audio signal and a control signal.
Okay, just like a vocoder.
Those correspond to these tracks here. I have audio signal and control signal, just to make everything easier to read. And the audio signal is the thing that you want
Okay, so
sound like your voice, like a synth or a guitar.
I don't know how you choose the signal, but I think we're getting there. So this is the auto signal and the control signal. So we want to do, I'm assuming it'll be here, the side chain, and you know what, we'll do choir, maybe. A choir sound might make something interesting, and this is my go-to, is the Zim choirs. Okay, I think this one could be good. So let's bring this one here to track 13. Then we're going to go back here as a sidechain input. We're going to do track 13. And we will hit play.
I am live streaming. I am live
It's doing something because there's a signal going through now, but
I am live streaming.
But we want this to be like 100% regret not making a better sample sound.
I am live.
Okay, the noise level we don't need. Like, what do we do with this?
I am live streaming. I am live stream.
Like, it's not.
I am live streaming.
Yeah, you know what? Okay, we'll leave this one as one that I forgot about, but I can't figure out how to use. And I'll get back to this one some other time. But it's interesting because I did not realize that I had a TalkBox plugin at all. And if we can get this to work, it could be very interesting. So let's go back to... and a lot of these are very similar. Like this one here, the choir, I guess we can use it on here. We'll take the articulator off. And then this one should multiply the voices.
I am live streaming.
Actually, doesn't sound that bad. 8 voices. Let's do 32 voices.
I am live streaming.
Like a lot of the time,
I am live streaming.
it's sort of like the unison on a synth. So anyways, I've never gotten this one to sound like what I really want to sound like. And I mean, there's only 3 buttons, so it should be easy to adjust. But
I am live streaming. I am live streaming.
So I'm assuming the timing just like widens it out a little bit, and it has a little bit more delay in between. But anyways, like you'd have to have, like this would probably sound, actually it'll probably sound nice on here. If we take it here and we put it on this sound here that was the choir that we were using as a signal for the TalkBox. If I remove this, the thing is, it adds voices to it. It's not as clear, so I don't know. I'm guessing this would be useful, like for a background vocal or whatever. But yeah, there's probably a reason I forgot about it. Is I don't know. I've never found it that useful in my tracks. But I think like I know there's going to be that time where it'll be useful at some point. The Avox mutator, I don't think I've even loaded this, because what I do is I put the purple preference on, I put the AU version, which is the one I usually use, especially unless the developer, you can't, like some developers it'll work better with the VST version, like Waves. But yeah, I tend to do this every time I install a plugin, and if I haven't done it, it probably means I've never used this this plugin, because it's almost automatic. So let's see what this is, and see, Extreme Voice Designer. I'm gonna try it on the choir again. So not doing that much here. Let's move it to this. I am live streaming, apparently. I am live streaming. I should really have recorded a better sample.
Live streaming.
Okay, sort of.
I am live streaming.
This could be good for
I am live streaming.
monster voices, cartoons, voice design. I like that how a lot of their plugins have this throat length and throat width, and I don't completely understand how those work. I'd have to talk with my sister who studied vocal training a lot, and I actually every time I talk to her, I'm like, I have these plugins that we have to sit down together. You have to help me understand how this works, and I think she'll find it really interesting because you can actually like do stuff. But if you understand what it's doing to the voice, it feels like you could accomplish a lot more with this plugin. So
I am live streaming. I am live streaming.
So this sort of pitches it up in a way.
Live streaming.
So wide. Anyways, okay. And then this one is the one that I've been telling her we have to try because it will actually give you what the actual throat looks like if you we do this. Oh no, I thought the image would switch, but yeah, it gives you these.
I am live streaming.
Anyways, these all do something similar. We're not going to worry too much about these. I haven't played around with these nearly enough. Apple, I'm not going to go through these because I've never even loaded any of these, but I'm assuming they just do the same type of thing. Do you guys ever use the Apple plugins? I guess we could try one and see. Like I'm going to assume it's just a very simple delay. Okay, we're going to get rid. Why isn't it playing?
I am live streaming.
Okay, it's a very simple delay. But anyways, yeah. So there's a bunch of built-in ones. I mean, they might be useful because they might not use a whole lot of CPU. They're probably like, written pretty well because they're made specifically for that operating system. But anyways, okay. So yeah, this one, okay. Applied acoustics. I actually I'd forgotten there's an AAS player on here. I use these, like this is one of my favorite electric piano plugins, the Lounge Lizard. And this Session is just the basic one, but at some point I'll have to get the full one. And then Strum, and then the Ultra Analog, which is one that I actually forgot I had. Strum is basically like guitar. It's really interesting. If you can ever get these free, a lot of the time you can get these three free, the Lounge Lizard, Strum, like session versions of Lounge Lizard, Strum, and Ultra Analog. But this AAS player, it's sort of interesting because what it does, I'm just going to take it. What it does is it lets you load up the packs from that company, no matter what they are, even if you don't have, because a lot of the packs are made for either Lounge Lizard or Strum or whatever. But this will let you load it up even if you don't have these. The only thing is it's extremely limited, and I wish it would just have one extra, like even either a filter or the ADSR settings. Like it would need just a little tiny bit that you can actually fix up the sound a little bit. But like some of these sounds are really nice. And the thing is with this company, Applied Acoustics, if you keep an eye out, because a lot of the time you'll get a free, they'll have something where you can get a free, either through a magazine, or sometimes just randomly you can get a free kit of sound, like a free sample pack of presets for one of their instruments. But like I said, you can use them in this AAS player. And I tend to forget about these sounds, partly on purpose, because like if I take this sound, I literally can't change anything at all. Like there's nothing at all you can change in it. So I was checking just in case. How do we get out of here? It'd be nice if we can change just a little bit. Like all you can change is the volume. That doesn't help very much. So I don't know. I tend to not use this, even though some of these sounds are really nice. Yeah. But yeah, so the strum is good, but this one I always forget that I have, and I think it's bass. Oh. And even like this is just a session version, it's just like a light version, but it does quite a bit. You look at all these settings, like I hadn't realized. I remembered this doing bass, and I have other plugins that I go to automatically for bass, but let's just try a few of these. These are nice patterns. Okay, I should probably be using this a little bit more. Obviously, you don't want to use these as is, because anybody loading this up and going to that preset will have the sounds. But I'm assuming we can change them. I'm assuming we can change them on here. Yeah. So if we take these. Let's just get rid of a bunch of these and just see what. So this is just these sounds here. And then subtle unison, intense. I'm just gonna go back to something. Oh, I like this unison where it's actually moving up and down a whole octave. Interesting. And then the mode, mono. Oh yeah. So if you change the note fast enough, you've got that glide on the note, and then this would be mono without the glide. And then poly will let you play chords, I'm guessing. And even though this is basically bassy type sounds, like these are interesting. And then ARP glide. What is this? Ooh. Huh. Okay. I'm going to be using this one a little bit more. And then you've got all of your effects. So I guess you've got one effect. So you can either throw a delay on there, chorus, distortion. I like the sound of the delay. It's weird though, because if we take the feedback up, it almost sounds like the feedback is always on, but no. That's sort of weird. Let's go back. Uplifting. Oh, okay. I think I got it here. So what we had here, I guess it's when we switched to this ARP glide. Okay. I thought it was the feedback, but I hadn't noticed it does it from this. Okay. So anyways, there's some interesting... Oops, sorry about your ears. It's interesting because like straight out of the box, you've got something to work with, and then, yeah, you can go from there. But there's a lot that you can do on here, and these, like I said, are just the session versions. So, okay, that one I sort of forgotten about. Okay, these here. The chorus is just the basic chorus that's taken from I'm assuming the Juno 6. Delay tape is one of my favorite ones. It's like, I don't know if you can tell no, you can't tell on the visual here, but if you ever see this machine in person, it's actually really interesting because it takes tape. If you don't know what tape delay is, it's basically, the concept was used on reel-to-reel machines. So you would have the reel-to-reel going, and the reel-to-reel has two different heads. It's got the play head and the record head. And because of how they're spaced, you could actually turn up the output on the tape, like on the tape that you're playing, and it would record the original signal like going through and the output like feeding back in. So you had this really interesting delay sound, and I would go to the extremes and just turn it way up where you'd have like the snare going. But anyways, if you ever see this machine was made just for the delay, but it literally has a piece of tape moving around. It's like fascinating to watch. Like, I don't know, if I had one here, I think I'd just be watching it for hours because it's just like a short tape, but it just keeps moving around, but it always moves around a little bit differently because it's tape moving around in basically a little box cage type of thing. But anyways, yeah, there are a few emulations of this machine, and this is one of them. I use this often, so this isn't one that I forgot about. It's just a very interesting one. The the Trident A, this is it's a preamp plugin, but yeah, anyways, I use this relatively regularly. Mellow-Fi I use. Oh, this one I had sort of forgotten about. This one isn't anything. Oh, I'd really forgotten I had this. It's nothing fancy, but let's put it on. Actually, let's put it on this choir thing here. And all it is, I tend to use this one, like stuff like this, because I do DJ stuff, and if I want to see what the waveform of my music will look like on a DJ controller, what I have to do, or what I had to do for a long time, you still have to do it, is I would take it, export it, drop it into Dropbox, then load it up on my DJ controller and see it there, where you can see it in Tractor and whatever DJ software you use. But the theory behind this is we should be able to see it. But I forgot I had this. It's more noticeable, like if we take it and we throw it on a drum kit. It'll be a little bit more recognizable. Let's do, I'm just looking for like a plain but full kit. There we go, 707 core kit. So if we do this, and so this is a little bit more similar to what you'd see on DJ software. But anyways, I forgot I had this. And I'm pretty sure this is free. Yeah, honestly, I don't know if I bought this or if it was free, but if I bought it and I saw it today so I would have gone to buy it. Scope. $8. So I must have bought this at some point. Oh, maybe this is the freeware version without sidechain. Okay, yeah, that must be this version here. But anyways, an interesting plugin if you need that type of thing. Okay, Audio Blast, Acid Box. I use this pretty regularly. It's like a 303 clone. This I have no idea. I recognize the name. Oh, okay. It's a compressor. Okay, it's a compressor. Yeah, well, I might load it on something later. Okay, audio thing. Frostbite, I actually didn't remember. I didn't know I had this. I keep seeing it on the website. So what is this? So it's basically, yeah, see, it's a very large sort of reverb. I didn't remember that I had this. Let's just load one of these. It always mixes me up because there's another one, Frost Point, which is their impulse responses that you can drop into convolution reverb. And they're like, well, sort of like this, like extreme sounds, like really long sounds. But a lot of the time, I don't feel like loading up the convolution reverb, then going to find the impulse response for it, whatever. So it's sort of nice to have this in a built-in plugin. And I'm just noticed this. I just noticed the randomize. I'm going to take this. Wow, that really makes a difference. It really brings out the kid. I thought it was this Pyros, but that's not what's bringing it out. It's this one here. So that one had a little bit of delay on it. I'm not sure if it's like, is it randomizing? Yeah, it looks like it's randomizing everything. Some of these presets are. That sounds really nice. This is just without it. That's a really nice sounding hat anyways, but. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, so that's Frostbite. It's basically extreme, extreme reverbs. Oh, something I noticed here. The freeze. I was actually looking for something the other day that had a freeze option. I wanted to do a video about it, and I've forgotten completely. What was it? Okay, hold on a sec. There's an interesting, oh yeah, easy riser trick using just reverb. Okay, I'll do a video about it some other time, but it's interesting that this does have a freeze button on it because that could be really useful. But it doesn't seem to do a whole lot. Usually if you press the freeze, it'll keep it, like keep that reverb going forever. Anyways, when I do the video, I'll sit down and work on this, but that's Frostbite. The hand clapper, I have a couple of these plugins that are just, yeah, they just do the claps. Latin percussion, which I did not remember I had. And I remember this being a drum machine. Let's, first of all, we're going to get rid of some of these effects on here. And I'm going to get rid of this sample we did earlier. That's really bugging me. I feel like deleting it completely, but anyways, okay. So this is just basically a drum machine, but it's got a Latin feel to it, and some of these presets sound really good. And as far as I can remember, I think you can take, yeah, with this, you can drop the MIDI into your track. So you've got the MIDI here, and you can throw that on any drum kit. So that's really nice to have. So it's basically, I love these because they're sort of two plugins in one. Like you've got the sounds and basically three, I guess. You've got the sounds, you've got the sequencer, but you also have, you can export that pattern from the sequencer into. So anyways, it lets you do a whole lot. Let's just see what some of these, and I've never used Chaos. Yeah, that's a little Interesting. And I've never used this. So it basically randomizes everything. If you use this, and I'm noticing now, you should probably throw a limiter on because it could be bad for your ears or your headphones or your monitors. But yeah, interesting. Like, I wish it wouldn't affect this. Like, the gain shouldn't be included in this randomize, because like here all of a sudden it's really, really loud. Like, anyways, there's no way to lock. Oh, here we go. There we go. Okay. I didn't think there was a way to lock, so at least do this if you're gonna do the random. And then, oh, okay, it doesn't randomize these though. But it's interesting because you can really tell, like, there's a difference in sounds. Like, it'll always sound a little bit similar because it's the same sample going in, but you do have some variation there. And then random pattern. Okay. I mean, random pattern might sound a little bit odd, like you might have to work on it a little bit, but how do we... I want to get rid of some of the reverb, but okay. Anyways, this is interesting. And there's another similar one from them that I think I have, but I've only used once. This is SR88, which should have very similar options. Yeah, see, it's the same random pattern. So anyways, and this one's more like a lo-fi type thing. Okay, go back up here. Megaphone, which is one of my favorite plugins. And somebody on Reddit the other day was saying, how can I get the megaphone sound? I'm like, just get this. He said, I'm willing to buy the plugin. It's not expensive. It's maybe $10 or something, or at least when it's on sale. But yeah, it's like, okay, this isn't one that I forgot about, but I like where, like, I like that it has the button with the sound in the background. It's a really interesting, if you want to make some interesting vocal samples or whatever, that's a great one. Moon Echo, I always forget I have this. Like, I did use this a few weeks ago, so it's not one of my forgotten ones right now, but it was a couple weeks ago. And you'll oh, okay, here. I'm just going to get this kit back here that we can use. It's weird because this here is a... Oh, the megaphone's still on. Oh, it's because of this megaphone. That's interesting. Megaphone turned my kick into this, and then when we add the Moon Echo... Interesting. And see where it like pings it? It's almost like it sends it to the moon and the signal comes back. It's an interesting, and I'm pretty sure this is free. And then you've got all these. Maybe I'll just see what it does. This is Doppler. Anyways, it's a, and I'm pretty sure I checked this recently and it was free. Moon Echo audio thing. Yeah, grab it for free. And this is really worth having. First of all, it's interesting to look at, but it's got some, it can do some interesting little sounds. Like, this is just a completely normal drum. And it gives it a interesting feel. But anyways, yeah, this is a great little plugin that I tend to forget. I mean, it doesn't have an exact use. I think that's why it's one of those things that I'll forget about it for a while, and then I'll be looking for just something different, and I end up going back to this. But okay, SR88 we looked at. And things texture. I didn't even know I had installed this, and I'm not even sure. Oh. Interesting. Distant chance. What? Okay, this is just a sound. And this isn't... I'm pretty sure I got this one for free. I don't think it always is free, but keep an eye out for it, because... Wow. Okay. Let's try a few. Shimmering. So it sounds like, actually, if we take this and I'm just trying to find the quickest way to do it, but if we throw an auto filter on here, yeah, sounds like fireworks. Yeah, you can make this sound like fireworks anyways. That's my favorite firework is, I don't know if you recognize, not the first part, but the one that's coming in from texture, the shimmering, is basically, you'll have the fireworks going through, and then after they do this little whizzy thing, where it goes, that's what this reminds me of. But anyways, okay, so this is texture that I'll have to play around with because I think that could be really useful. I'm not sure why we ended up on audio effects here. Oh yeah, because we added the auto filter, which we don't really need anymore. Okay, and we're gonna go get rid of this. Actually, let's get rid of all of these we loaded up. We don't need any of these anymore. I might keep the EQ8 just in case. Okay, Bedroom Producers blog. If you guys want deals on plugins, it's worth subscribing to this. But cassette drums. I sort of remember, I think it was last summer when they released this. And from what I remember, they basically recorded a bunch of samples, ran them through a cassette machine, and recorded the sound from the cassette, I believe. So this would be for lo-fi or whatever. But I don't think I've ever used this. I had plans to use it when it came out. I guess that's why I'm doing this stream tonight. But trying to hear if we can hear. I thought this was for vinyl sound, like crackling sound, but I can't. Oh, okay. It's just when you're. Oh, interesting. So if we run it. Oh. I thought it would go all the time, but it only plays on the sample itself. So if you're. It actually sounds like a vinyl. Oh, like it sounds like a vinyl record playing. Interesting. Oh, and the interesting thing is, if you hold the key down, even though the sample's gone, you've got this sound going through from the tape and the vinyl. So I'm assuming the way to use these without necessarily having a sample, you could take this. Yeah, so if you take the level down on the sample, you can have these running through. Interesting. So this is 606 kit, and then there's an 808. It's weird because an 808 would usually be like really, really punchy, but this tends to probably removes a little bit of that from the limitations of a cassette deck. Oh, there's 909 in here too. Just want to hear these. Okay. I thought of something, but it won't work on here. And then, oh, this is a nice kick here. Do you guys know a way to have, okay, I want to do this. I guess I could do with Max for Live. I'd want to take this and be able to hit the pedal and like the sustain pedal and use it as like a kick drum trigger. And 'cause I keep hitting the my sustain pedal thinking there's gonna have this kick sound go through. I'm assuming I could probably take this MIDI note, like the incoming MIDI, and switch it to the number, like the sustain pedal I think is 61 or something, but I don't know. Anyways, it'd be interesting to be able to use your sustain pedal as a kick drum or whatever drum. But anyways, this does have an interesting sound. This was free, and I'm not sure if it is still around. Bedroom producers blog cassette. What was it called? Cassette drums, I think. Yeah, cassette drums. Free tape machine plugin. I want to see if you can still get this because, yeah, they say it is free right now. So, yeah, I think you should get this because there's some interesting sounds. And okay, so that's the one there. Yeah, this might be a long stream, or we may have to start a little bit later next time, like at a different, we might do part of it here and then another part. Like we'll have to do this in parts because I'm only up to the B's. Vintage. Oh, this is a synth that came out. This was weird because it came out and then they canceled the whole thing. And it was like, I don't know if there was some issue, like legal issue, or I don't know what it was. They canceled everything and it like disappeared completely. And then all of a sudden they like relaunched it. And I don't know if the relaunched version was any different, but the bass sounds nice on here. So let's just try one of these presets, a pad. Sounds very similar to the other one. I'm just wondering, I thought I had a bunch of effects on here that might have been, oh, this sort of sounds nice. It's very quiet. Yeah, I don't know. Sounds interesting, but none of these sounds like sort of jump at me right now, and this might still be free as well. I don't know. The presets themselves. Okay, this could take some playing around with, but anyways, I don't know if this one's still free though. Let me see. Behringer Vintage. Let's find out. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, get a free license. So anyways, if you want to play around with that one, there it is. But yeah, I think we'll have to play around with that one a little bit more to get the most out of it. Magnetite, I think, was a tape. I remember getting this years ago. I don't think I've loaded it since then. And I love yeah, that's right. I love the feel of this where you could see the tape going. Just on. And yeah, I don't know. There's something I like about the tape. I think you can click on it. There's somewhere you can click on it where it does. Yeah, there we go. Sync to host transport. Oh, that's interesting. So when you hit play on Ableton, it starts. That's interesting. So if you had this on the on your main channel, yeah, it would just feel like you're running the tape machine. So interesting. But anyways, it's a tape emulator. And the oh, this one. I hesitated for this one. That's right. I forgot I had this. I hesitated to get this for like probably about a month that it was on sale. And I remember sitting out on the balcony and I had sat down with a demo, and I don't usually do the demos, even though you should, but I sat down with the demo and I tried to play around with it. Like the sound that it changes, it doesn't do a whole lot. And I mean, you can make it sound way different, but that's because you're just really increasing the level. And I think there's one of these, I think, is it option? Control? Yeah, see this one here will trim at the same time as you do the gain. So you'll have the level will stay more consistent between the two. Anyways, I was going through the sound isn't much different. It's a preamp, but there's not a huge difference. So I remember sitting there trying it and listening for the differences over and over. I was like, do I buy this thing? And it was only like, it's probably $10. And then I remember going on the balcony, and it was like late at night, but it's pretty busy around here. So the cars were going by, whatever. I was hearing these sounds, and all of a sudden, it's almost like I could hear every single sound in my life clearer, because I had been used to trying to listen to the difference on here. I was trying to figure out what the difference was between, what it really did. And if that makes sense, I don't know. It's tough to explain, but I was listening for that detail in the audio so much in this that it helped me hear details in the audio of just regular stuff around me. So anyways, I like this, but it's another one that I had forgotten I had. I don't think I've loaded this up for like a year. It doesn't make a big difference, but it could be nice. It can be nice on vocals, and this here is an EQ, so for the high end. So anyways, it's sort of interesting. So yeah, I forgot about that one. Won't go through that one because it doesn't change enough that you would really notice a difference. Cable guys, Shaper Box, which I have Shaper Box 2 and 3, but I think they only have Time Shaper in them, or I don't know, there might be a couple of them in there, but anyways, I use this one relatively often. I use that one mostly for scratching sounds, for DJs scratching sounds. Tape cassette I use once in a while, mostly for the wobble. Melodyne I use very often. Cherry Audio, yeah. You know what? This one, it's like I tend to remember I have it, but I tend to forget about it at the same time. I don't know. I might be one of the few, but I don't really like modular synths. And I'm sorry to say that. I know people are really into it. I don't say that I never would like them, but I just feel like it takes too long to do something that I want to do. And I don't like sitting there and just hearing noises over and over until I don't know, there's something about it. I've never really gotten into it. And then this one, for some reason, no matter which computer I've tried it on, it just uses way too much CPU, and I keep getting the updates, and I know one of these days it'll work normally, but anyways, so that's the main reason I tend to forget about it, but I don't it's not that I completely forgot about this one, it's just that it's sort of in the back of my mind because it's not something I use. But I know at some point I'm going to sit there and try a modular. Like, I think the actual physical modular synth idea, I love. Even in Reason, like some of the stuff that is not like a modular synth, but like patching stuff, I can enjoy a little bit sometimes. But I find it just ends up being a big mess. And then I'm like, I have to think too much of like where stuff is patched. I think that's what it is. But anyways, I know at some point I'll sit there and try it and I'll love it, but so far, no. Modular effect. Okay, that's just the effects from the voltage modular. Sort of interesting. I actually didn't know this was here. So yeah, so I'm assuming you just have your regular sounds and then you can drop in the modular stuff in here. Could be useful, but yeah, I'd have to really fall in love with modular synthesis first. But anyways, the D16 Drumazon, I mentioned this one earlier, Nephathon, Sigmund 2. They have like, I have a whole bunch of their plugins, and oh, I remember this one. I did a video about this one. Yeah, I remember this one now. I actually had forgotten I had it, and I did a pretty extensive video as far as I can remember. And can you explain through the music? I'm not sure what exactly you're asking, but yeah, let me know what you're asking. What you if you can give me details about what you're asking, I'll be glad to answer. And yeah, this delay ends up being, you can use it as a delay, but you can use it for sound design. It does a whole lot. And thanks for being here. And thanks for the chat. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. And I tend to sit there and talk to myself, but I'm glad to answer whatever you've got about these plugins, about whatever, Ableton, whatever. I tend to use mostly Ableton as a DAW and Reason relatively often, but not as often. And some of the other ones I've used over the years, but I tend to stick to Ableton a lot of the time just because I can work quicker in it. But yeah, this is an interesting, I forgot completely that I had this. And as far as I remember, I paid good money for this one. so and I remember some of these, like, look at all these presets. Oh, you got it. Okay. So you can make the sound so different just from these. Ooh, this is nice. See, I'm glad I'm doing this stream because I don't know. It would have taken me a while to get back to this this plugin. There are a bunch from this company, D16, that I installed in the past. I haven't gotten around to installing on here, but I should because I love their plugins. Okay, so that's Sigmund. Let's get rid of some of these here. Not All Life. I thought I had more. Oh, okay, there we go. These are the other ones. This one is, yeah, I forgot I had it, but I've used it so much that I never really forget about it. It's basically just a, you always have to adjust the gain. I wish they'd fixed it so when you bring up the fatness, it brings down the gain. But anyways, it's, it basically does this magic compression and a little bit of distortion, I think. And anyways, it makes your sounds bigger. They've got a few. I love their plugins. This Endless Smile is more for rises in, you know, where you've got the that type of thing. But anyways, yeah, I tend to use these. I thought oh no, the other one I've been wanting. They have a new one. Anyways, that I've been wanting. But anyways, yeah, I use these relatively regularly. The Plugin Doctor, I use that one sometimes. Decided, oh yeah, Decent Sampler. This one I tend to install stuff for it, but I don't, I forget to use it. And it's got some really nice sounds. Hold on here. File browser. It does have some really nice sounds. I tend to forget to use it, and I probably should use it a little bit more because the kalimba. Like these are nice sounds. Most of these are free. The plugin itself is free, and a lot of these sounds are free. But yeah, that's one worth checking every little while. Quadravox, I've never gotten to sound right. And And every time they have the 8 voice one, it's basically a harmonizer sort of, and I've never been able to make this sound good. I can't say that I've spent hours on it trying to make it sound good, but oh, interesting though. Maybe I've been trying it on voice. So this is using it as more of a delay. Interesting. Okay, so I was wrong. I've never gotten it to sound right. Now I have. This sounds really good. I like this. But anyways, yeah. Exponential audio. I don't want to use these anymore because they've been discontinued and they keep doing these new versions of them. But yeah. Anyways, these were great reverbs, and they still are, and I guess they still work, but I try not to use them too much. Sublab XL, which is for mostly kick drums, like 808s. G-Force. Okay, so these here, DMX I use regularly. Icon Drum is new, and I actually had forgotten that I'd gotten this. And this Imposcar 2, I've been hesitating getting number 3 because I just have so many synths. But this one, Access, I actually didn't know I had. Oh, I think I remember seeing this one. So it's basically a synth. It's playing without me doing anything, but okay. And then, how do I stop it? Okay. I like the look of this. I like the feel. But I'd sort of forgotten I had this one. I'd completely forgotten I had this as well. But like I remember loading this a couple of times because I remember seeing this and then I just forget about it completely. But I have no idea why it keeps playing though. I'm assuming there's a pattern going through, like there's a sequencer somewhere in here, but okay, I don't like that. Okay, anyways. Where's the master gain? Okay, I'm gonna get rid of that. Okay, yeah, that's not my favorite synth so far, but maybe if I play around with it a little bit more. But some of them you just load them up and you love them, and then some of them I like this one. It's just, I don't know. There's something that's not calling my name. Amplitude I use relatively regularly. It's got a bunch of guitar pedals in it. What is bass 1? Okay, this one I'll have a lot. Oh, okay. I think I know what this is. Yeah, see, I got T-Rax 6 Max recently. And like I upgraded to the full version. I had 5 Max, and then the 6 added a bunch, and I think this is one of the ones that it added. I'm wondering, actually, that sound that was playing that I couldn't stop might be good with this plugin anyways. Okay, let's see what we can do with it if we load a few presets. Ooh, this brings out that bass. The model art is good for sci-fi. Yeah. I like the sound of this one. This one is okay. How do we stop this thing? Okay, I have to switch the preset because I had to find something that doesn't keep playing. Okay. And then this is going to be, yeah, these T-Rax ones are going to be a bunch of effects that the brick wall limiter, British channel. And these are all ones that I use here and there. compressor, I always do forget that I have. But yeah, it's basically a compressor that does a whole bunch of stuff as far as I remember. These I've actually never used. The Hall and plate. Dynamo. Okay, I'm gonna. I don't like this access. Let's throw Serum on here instead, because I copy it here and paste it here. Okay, there we go. I don't know. There's something. Oh, update available. Huh. I've been looking every day to see if there's an update on Serum. 2.0.17. Okay, key track option. Let's just look at this real quick. Mapping editor. Okay. Yeah, these it looks like it's mostly bug fixes. I was hoping there were little new features, but I think that'll be coming in Serum 2.1. And like, I'm checking constantly. As soon as 2.1 comes out, Steve Duda has mentioned some stuff that might, be addressed in here. And as soon as it comes out, I'm actually gonna do a live stream about it. But improve compatibility with FL Studio 25 Beta, with Studio One, improve CPU usage spikes in convolution reverb, and improved usability. Okay, yeah, I'll load that at some other time, but. Anyways, okay, so there's a small update. That's the first one actually since they released it, because I got this one on release day when they updated it. But okay, so this one, yeah, effects processor. I want to find some like fun plugins that I'd forgotten about. This vocal strip, Joe Ciccarelli. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce his name, but anyways, that's a great plugin. Leslie, actually this one I had forgotten. I had it separate from other stuff because you've got that built into their organ plugin, but I always forget that. Yeah, I'd forgotten I had this so that I can throw it on, see, just without it. It's just normal. And then this gives it a little bit of a wobbly feel. Might have to bring the output up a little bit. Okay, let's see here. So it does give it a little bit of a feel on the sustain. I feel like it does remove some of the lows, so we might have to play around with it. But anyways, yeah, I've forgotten I had this separate, like in a separate plugin that I could use on anything. So that's interesting. Lo-fi punch. Okay. We're going to skip these, I think. This mic room is always interesting, where you can take your microphone and make it sound like a different microphone. And, but anyways, yeah. Mixbox 1. Okay, we're going to skip these, I think. Bunch of the tape machines. So many of these. Okay, yeah, let's go to... Okay, Convology XT. I use this. If you want to use impulse responses, that's probably the best or one of the best free plugins to load up your impulse responses. Initial audio, initial reverse. That one I actually had forgotten I had. So it should bring it back in. No? Oh, I think we have to hit play, I think. Yeah, see? So we'll go to 1 bar. I pressed it. So it's basically taking whatever you throw into it, reversing it in real time, and then... So it could be interesting for some... If you have it shorter, you can do some stuff with it. And this one is going to be 4 bars, so I might have to wait a little while. But I want to see how... Should be up to 4 bars by now. Try it again. Coming in. Anyways, okay, interesting little plugin for those reverse effects. You could, yeah, you can use it a bunch of ways. But anyways, I'd sort of forgotten I had that. This one here, the 950, I love to give it a bit of a lo-fi crunchy feel. But this one here, I don't even know what... Oh, I think this is like a... Oh, no, I thought this was a drum... Oh, yeah, we got to get rid of this initial reverse. Actually, let's get rid of all of these. Mic room, Leslie. Okay. Okay, so this is a synth. Yeah, I'd forgotten I had this. I was looking for my pedal. I like the organ type sounds in here. Like, really? I like that it has a lot of I use organ sounds probably more than any other sound in my tracks, especially for deep house. But anyways, yeah, there's a... So I want to see how much... Okay, if we load this one here, I want to see how much of the sound we can change. Yeah, I actually thought that this was an effect sort of like the RX 950 that would give you sort of that sampler crunchy feel. I hadn't even realized I had this synthesizer. So okay. Interesting little synthesizer. I'll have to play around with that one a little bit more at some point. We have instant audio. Oh, yeah. This one's interesting because we take this sound that we just had, which is just this, and you press this. And full disclosure, I got this one for free in exchange for... Not an exchange. I got it for free and to be able to look at it and see if I wanted to do a review about it. I don't remember if I did a review about it. But anyways, yeah, it's an interesting little plugin. But they never paid me, or they don't, tell me what to say or anything like that. It's just really is... chance to try out their plugins and see if there's anything interesting in there to tell you guys about. And then I think one of these is, yeah, see, this is the random in the middle. It'll randomize all of these. So you can go to each of these and switch them individually, but you can do the random. It's a nice way to get interesting sounds out of something just with one touch, right? So anyways, there's that one, which I'll have to play around with a little bit more. I might do a whole video on that one at some point, but it might get loud. This is, yeah, I'd sort of forgotten I had this, but this company, it's Ugratone, and first of all, this plugin has always used up so much CPU for me, and I've talked to them over the years, and they're like, yeah, try not to use the really long reverbs. I don't think they're using... I think it's still running through Rosetta or whatever. Like, I don't think it's fixed it for the M1 chips or M whatever chips now. But it does have a nice sound, but I don't tend to use it very much because of the CPU, and also because they've had a change in ownership lately, whatever, and I always worry about what's going to happen with that. So I don't want, if they abandon it, I tend to have a tough time finishing my tracks. So sometimes I'll throw this on a track and it could be 3 years before I look at it again. So I want to have plugins that I know will be there for a long time. And it's very new, their thing. It looked like they were closing, so that's why I sort of stopped. Now they got bought out, but yeah, I'm waiting to see what happens with that, to see if I should be using these. But okay, the isotope. Oh, I actually didn't realize I had Neoverb. I saw this one the other day, and I thought of buying it. Oh, I have this. That's very interesting. So I'm going to take this one out. Oh, yeah, I really didn't. I don't remember buying this one. I think I got it in some bundle that I bought, and yeah, I think I remember when I bought this, but I didn't know. Yeah, I've forgotten I had that. Anyways, it's a reverb. Ozone 9 I use a lot, and these are all Ozone 9 plugins. RX10 won't be useful for this, but I actually... I had sort of forgotten I had this many. I remembered I had something from the RX10, just the essentials or whatever. But yeah, anyways, some useful ones in here. Yeah, trash I'd forgotten I had actually, which is distortion. And when I did get this, I used it a lot, and I really like this thing, but. Because I like it because it's not just distortion. Like if we take this sound here, I'm going to get rid of some of these other... I'll get rid of Neoverb and Quick Muse. So this sound here... So when you listen to it, it's very different, but it's not just that sound distorted. It actually... Yeah, it does more than just distortion. I don't tend to use a whole bunch of distortion. A lot of the stuff I do is like deep house music, where it's sort of like... groovy, like sort of, deep and calm and chill. So the distortion doesn't necessarily fit with that stuff, but there's a lot of stuff that I can use in here that doesn't necessarily distort the sound. That sounds weird, but still interesting. Anyways, some interesting sounds in there. I have to remember to use this a little bit more. And vinyl I do tend to use every little while. Drop kick. Yeah, I believe this is an effect for kick drums. So let's go back to the 707 kit. And this also is from United Plugins. So they actually did send me a license for this a while back, and I haven't even had a chance to load it up yet. So this is something I might end up doing a video about at some point. But yeah, it's one of the same same thing as earlier. They sent me the license to give it a try, but yeah. They don't tell me what to say about it, and yeah. Just want to see if... Oh yeah, that does bring it out, actually. Even this does sound real... I don't know if it's just louder, though. That's something with these sometimes that... Okay. Oh, which one did we have? Powerhouse. I want to see what it sounds like without. Okay. Anyways, I'll have to play around with this one a little bit more, but I I didn't remember installing that at all. I remember thinking about it at some point. Kilohertz KHS1, which is a synthesizer I used a couple times. I haven't really used it since. .cassette.lp. I don't remember this at all. Oh. I just want to record like... Interesting because interesting. I guess when we hit play, what happens if we mute these? Oh, so we can actually... Oh. I don't even remember getting this or installing this. If I'd seen it for sale, I'd buy this tonight. Interesting. For lo-fi, this could be really useful to have. Huh. I have a few of these plugins that will do this, but the sound on here is really nice. So I have Needlepoint from Plugin Alliance, or I'm not sure who makes it, but they were the ones that would sell. And then there's another one, Vinyl, from Isotope or Native Instruments. We saw it earlier anyways. That one is sort of like this, but I've never seen any with this, like, this much control and this much background noise you can throw on there. That's interesting. Okay. How much is... I don't even... Like I said, I don't even remember buying this, but... Okay, what's it called? DAW LP. This one here, $40. I don't think I paid $40 for it, but... Anyways, I got this at some point, and I've never used this, so it's good to have. And then DAW cassette, which I use relatively regularly. And Korg, the M1, if you watch my live streams and my videos, you know I use this all the time. And then the EP1 is one that I've used here and there. I did a video about that one, and people didn't like it, and I can't figure out why. It's probably like the one that has the most thumbs down, and I don't know. I got one comment on it that I remember where they said I wasn't really playing. I was trying to do a walkthrough showing all the features on it, and they were saying you're doing an electric piano review and not playing the piano, which I can understand. And I haven't watched it again to see how accurate that is, but I'm pretty sure it is accurate up to a certain point because yeah, I was talking mostly about all of the effects on it, and because in a way, an electric piano is an electric piano. Like, to me, it's what you can do with the sound. But yeah, so I might redo that video at some point. But that's the Korg EP1. Okay, this is I always forget I have this, and it's probably one of the most interesting plugins I have. I haven't been able to find a use for it in my own music because of the types of music I make. But if we throw it on this embarrassing sample from earlier. Okay, we'll just go back here with the... Okay, hold on. Whatever this was, it's playing. We don't want this anymore. Okay, so
I am live streaming.
I just recorded that earlier on if you weren't here. It's just... Anyways, but if we throw this on here, it should... So it creates these monster sounds, but there's a surprising amount. A cute little monster.
I am live streaming.
I'm just trying to find the growls. These will sound even better if you try to do like a roar, and then here, let's try it. Roar. Okay, so if we try this here. Okay, that's a cute creature. We don't want that. We want goblin. The goblin sounds interesting. Okay, we have to turn this up because the Martian. I want these roars. So I always feel like working on like sound design for a movie, and if I did, these would be really useful. But like I said, I've been able to find a way to use these in my music. But maybe one of these days I'll be able to. But yeah, I'd sort of forgotten that was there, mostly because I don't use it on a daily basis. The Cashmere Essentials kick, which I use in waves when I forget that it's there, like when I remember that it's there, and then I forget all about it. But if you're using this on, and this is free, and it's really worth getting this, we'll go back to this drum kit again. And if we just have the kick, this, get rid of drop kick here. So you can change the sound for the sub, get a little bit more mid, a little bit more air, have it hit harder, like this increases the transient, and then these here will help make your kick, especially this pressure one. It just makes your kick, it basically compresses it. But even though this is called compression here, the pressure is a really strong one. If you've got a strong kick and you're making big room house or whatever, anyways, it's super useful. There's a fancier version, but this one here is free, and it's really useful on kick drums. I had forgotten again that I had it, and I'll probably be using it for a few weeks and I'll forget about it again. But I think I have too many plugins if it's like that. But anyways, Bassmaster I use here and there, and I actually love this plugin, but I always worry because it's not really supported anymore. And I remember it wasn't working on the M1 at all. I think it was the only plugin that didn't work at all on this computer when I got it a few years ago. But I talked to them, and they sent me this version to use that actually works, and they said it was the beta version. It was about to be updated. I don't even think they've actually updated it yet on the website. So yeah, I don't know if they've abandoned this or if they are using it, but it does sound really good. I just worry about using it because I worry that it won't be supported anymore. So hopefully they'll start, because like you can really feel okay, hold on, we're gonna get rid of this because I think, yeah, this was exaggerating. I never even thought of using this, the Cashmere kick one. I never thought of using it on bass. I only use it on kick drums, but it really does bring things out. So anyways, yeah. And then the Loop Cloud, yeah. These, I tend to get Loop Cloud for a few weeks, and then I get rid of it, for like a month, and then I get rid of it, and then I get it again. And I do that a bunch of times a year, so I don't really want to use the plugins too much, because then I can't use them when I don't have an active account. So I knew these were there, but I've never loaded them up. The Loop Cloud sounds, yeah, okay, that's, yeah, to use their sounds. There's another one here. I think it's this Loop Cloud one that will actually load all of your samples. Oh no, that's not the one. Anyways, one of these will load all of your samples. It might be this Loop Cloud Sounds, actually. Like the ADSR one that we looked at way early on. Yeah, My Sounds. But I'm not sure if this is only the ones that I got from Loop Cloud. Anyways, I think one of these I'm able to use you're able to use to go through your own sample library. I think it is this one actually, but yeah, that's for another day. Oh, there's still so many of these. Okay, you know what? I'm going to stop that here. But yeah, I'm going to write that down where I am now. So we'll look at Melda production next time. I'll do a different stream. I don't even remember what this one is. So, okay, I'll do a separate stream for, we'll go to the M's to the Z's in Canada and Z's if you're in the US or pretty well anywhere else. But, yeah, there's a bunch of these that I want to get through, but, yeah, I think that's going to be good enough for tonight. So, yeah, thanks for watching and thanks for being here. And I hope you were able to learn something about some of these plugins and find some new interesting ones that you want to use. And yeah, I want to do this again. That's another reason too. We'll split it up and do it again. And once I get tired, then I'm like, yeah, I tend to skip little bits and pieces and stuff. I want to really do this justice. So we're going to do the M's and on next time. And yeah, thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you next time.